Hi everyone, it's Michelle Lightworker here, and welcome to Enlightened Conversations. I have a beautiful guest here joining me today, Christina Winslow, and Christina and I are going to chat about an amazing new practitioner method that is available to everyone worldwide, globally, which I'm really excited about. But before I progress to talking with Christina, I'm just going to let you know a little bit about her background and a bit about her biography. So Christina Calisto Winslow is a best-selling author, owner of an international spiritual publishing company, Big Country Publishing. She's also the creator of Alchemy of the Mind and founder of Wellpoint Hypnosis Method, which is what we'll be discussing today a lot of. And Christina brings training and support through her teaching, her consultations, writing and speaking engagements. Just a bit about her background too. She began her formal education at UNC, earning a BA in journalism and mass communications in 1991. She was ordained as an interfaith minister in 2009 and is a certified certified in multiple hypnotherapy modalities, and is a registered hypnotherapist with the state of Colorado. And she offers her students and clients a unique perspective on the wellness industry from her in-depth and well-rounded experience in alternative health businesses, publishing, and corporate world. So currently, Christina is extensively involved in the research and development of brainwave entertainment technology and its effect on the subconscious mind as a co-founder of SoundSync Tech, which we wrote a bit about in Lightworker Advocate magazine with your husband, didn't we, Christina? Welcome to the show.
Thank you so much, Michelle. And I just want you to know that it's such a pleasure and honor to be on your show and to be with your audience tonight. So I guess it's morning for you and it's night time for me. But thank you again for having me on. Oh. And yes, Ted loves you. He loved being on your show, Michelle, and meeting you and Tony when you were out at the recording studio in Colorado. That was a special treat. Yeah. So anyway, I feel very honored to be able to talk about Wellpoint Hypnosis Method with you, because I know that your audience is a little bit more educated in this field. So I can't wait to hear feedback after the show. Yes. And look at the questions that we might receive from the audience, and definitely welcome that feedback. So.
Yeah, absolutely. And for those of you who are watching and have any questions that you want to ask, please ask them. We are really open to hearing what this triggers and activates within you, because this is really a really interesting and new and revolutionary style of hypnosis. And for those of you who don't know anything about it, it's not unusual, because this is actually a brand new modality, isn't it, Christina?
Yes, it does draw on some traditional aspects of hypnosis, but it also incorporates new techniques that I've uncovered over the past 6 years. 4 years, there's been rapid change since 2014. As we all know, the frequencies have been just out of this world, and human consciousness is raising. And as that's happening, I'm finding more information is coming in for this modality, married with the brainwave frequency work that we're doing, the research and development. And so this hypnosis uses brainwave frequencies with the technique.
And it would be wonderful to kind of expand on that for people so they understand what this, how effective it is as well, but what it is as well, this brainwave technique.
Sure. So we all hear about the subconscious mind, and a lot of the, even like the Hay House authors, they talk about the subconscious mind, and it's pretty well known at this point in time that, our subconscious mind is running the show a lot of the time. It's emitting a frequency out there that we're not really conscious of, and it might not be creating in our life what we really want it to. But where we take it is a little bit farther.
Okay.
We take it to the unconscious mind. So we take brainwave frequencies that help the client go not only tap into the subconscious mind, but also the unconscious mind or superconscious mind. Okay, so in traditional psychology, as you're very well versed in, Michelle, and we talk about the unconscious mind. It's not really unconscious. I like to call it more superconscious mind, because that's where the psychic abilities are. That's where you can tap into the Akashic records and really make some lasting change. You can tap into the divine intelligence or unified field, that unity consciousness.
Yeah.
And so using the brainwave technologies that my husband has been working on for over a decade, and we started kind of testing this out, Michelle, years ago. And I wasn't really planning to teach this.
Yeah.
But what happened was we were using all of my energy work, and I have enough certifications to plaster this office, as a lot of us do, right?
Yeah.
And then my work with the subconscious mind. How do we make positive change in the subconscious mind? How do we really tap into the unconscious mind? And how do we make lasting change? And then we started testing the frequencies. And we noticed that we could get, in hypnosis with Ted's frequencies, we would test people's energy field before I would do a hypnosis session on them with biophotonic imaging systems. So he has a lot of state-of-the-art testing equipment that was developed actually by the Russians, and they used this equipment for the Russian athletes to give them the competitive edge in the Olympics. So it was top secret. Just a few years ago, it was released to the public.
Mm-hmm.
So he was using all of his testing, his brainwave frequencies. He was going back to his studio and recalibrating and, recomposing and mastering it in a technique that it was helping me to tap in with the client through hypnosis. So what we found was I could get them into this very deep hypnotic state faster, and they were connecting into the higher self. I like to call it the soul consciousness realm, Michelle, because I think it's kind of a combination of everything. It's our higher self, subconscious mind. Our conscious mind can be our advocate through this process, and a lot of hypnotherapists don't really like working with the conscious mind. But I've come up with this way where we partner with this conscious mind, subconscious mind, and the unconscious, which, connects us into the all, the unified field.
Mm-hmm.
And through that process, that's how kind of Wellpoint was developed. And I hope that wasn't too down the rabbit hole.
No, because like for me, I guess my biggest bugbear with hypnotherapy has always been we're beings of free will, So
Right.
So if we allow a hypnotherapist to almost like kind of manipulate by getting us into a certain point of, relaxation and things like that, almost like
Sure.
we could be manipulated into perhaps doing things that we aren't ready for even, or we don't want to do, or what have you, or someone else's will, if you like, imposed on us.
Right.
And I guess I've always had a sort of like a little bit of my shackles up a little bit when it came to hypnotherapy. And as soon as you started talking to me about what you're doing, I just knew there's something just incredibly different about your approach. And I feel like that's it. It's that you're identifying, tapping into the greater will of the higher self, and that I know it's kind of ironic that you call it unconscious, but it's super conscious. So,
Super conscious.
you know,
Yes.
it's just unawakened, right? But what you're saying is, how about we awaken it, and then that way you've tapped into it, and then you have access to all that. And so then it becomes, you are still in your free will. So it's just another activation, as it were, and they're a very powerful, not just another, but a very powerful activation. But I'm trying to normalize it, because I think that there are so many ways that we activate all the time and this feels to me like it's really helping people to get there quicker. That's what it feels like as you're talking. I'm thinking, well, I think you're really helping people. Would you agree? I mean, you've had experience with it, so.
Yes, I've actually had clients come to me that had tried other pretty well-known, famous past life regression hypnosis techniques that they were not able to go under.
Wow.
Because for whatever reason, you know, it's not right or wrong, but, you know, and so here was my goal. It was like, I don't trust everybody either. You know, my guards were up too, you know, when you go to a healer, or, you know, you want to make sure that your free will is intact and your sovereignty, and that they're not making any agreements or giving you suggestions like traditional hypnotherapists would do.
Yes, exactly.
And I actually had some prejudice against hypnotherapy, to tell you the truth. I pictured this 1980s, you know, really rigid woman, or a really kind of creepy guy with, you know, saying you're getting very sleepy kind of thing. And I'm like, I don't have any desire at all to, you know, do that old school hypnosis. But what we found was, this is much farther than just a past life regression or a guided meditation.
Yeah.
And because it was taking the client into these deeper brainwave states, legally we had to call it hypnosis, because that's what it was. Now, but it's different, because guess what? If I was the hypnotherapist doing the Wellpoint session for you, Michelle, I am not the boss.
Yeah.
I'm the travel guide. That's it. Where traditional hypnosis, they're implanting suggestions, they're controlling it.
Wow.
No, the higher self is in charge, and that's where the magic happens.
You're revolutionizing hypnotherapy. You're redefining it, because on some level, which I absolutely love, which on some level, whenever anybody thinks of hypnotherapy, it is a certain kind of way, right?
Mm-hmm.
But what you're saying is, well, actually we had to fit in that box technically, because we're taking people to their brainwave, that accessing that brainwave function that makes huge, ginormous leaps in accessing superconscious.
Right.
But we're completely different. You know, you've got hypnotherapy over here where you've got one kind of consciousness. I think for me, that's, you and I probably shared that. And then over here, like, and I felt that as soon as I spoke to you. It's just like, nah, this is, I mean, for one thing, I totally trust what Ted does, because his music, for those of you who don't know Ted Winslow, his music is multi-award winning for his CDs, bestsellings, and on all these amazing frequencies that he's created, that are the basis of the Wellpoint hypnotherapy, aren't they? Those are used for that.
Right.
He's designed some of the powerful music for that, or brainwave technology for that. Would you call it music, or would you call it brainwave technology?
I don't, well, it does put you in the alpha, theta, or delta, you know, different brainwave states. But it's still music that you can listen to on, you know, stream it on iHeartRadio, you know, or Spotify, or those places. So it's considered music.
Beautiful.
But so what happened, Michelle, is at first I was using his CDs.
Yeah.
People who couldn't get relaxed enough for me to, and then I started realizing, wait a minute, I'm married to the creator of these CDs.
Amazing.
And then I went to him and turned on the charm and asked him if he would design special frequency music that only Wellpoint practitioners or hypnotherapists could use.
Yep.
So you can't even get them unless you take the class and become certified, because they are pretty powerful. We don't want people playing this in the car, and thinking it's just a, relaxation music. This is pretty powerful brainwave frequency, and they're beautiful songs that he's creating, but it helps you get into that space to connect with your higher self. And what I've also noticed is that it kind of creates like a little force field, the frequencies, and you don't get as much interference.
Yeah.
So maybe it's a negative spiritual interference, or even the person feeling fear, because that can interfere, but they feel safe because the frequencies are such loving. And for people who don't know much about sound healing, the different frequencies that keep you in that peaceful state. And it really helps you relax it. Also, you can't just go use any music, because what I've learned over the years in the healing business, if someone had a childhood trauma and that person who hurt them listened to classical music, well, you can't just go play classical music to release. That could hurt that client.
Yeah.
But this music, nobody's played before. So it's safe. It's safe because a lot of us, if we don't have any, maybe we were very blessed and lucky and we didn't have any childhood issues, but something comes up from a past life.
Yeah.
And so there's many different ways that we have worked over the past 6 years to try to make it as safe as possible for people to relax.
Yep.
And have fun with it too. Like you can see a trauma. Let's say you saw, I died this way in a past life, or you go 2 lifetimes ahead and you can go into future lives and you could see, this is what I'm doing. What are the lessons that can help me in this lifetime? What could I do differently in this lifetime? Or what's my purpose in this lifetime? There's just so many possibilities to how to use this.
It's exciting. I love that. I feel like as we're encouraging people to redefine hypnotherapy, I think what we're doing is we're encouraging a whole heap of other things at the same time. We're encouraging people to deep dive into exploring what needs to be resolved in the energetic field so that they can evolve. We're encouraging people to really step into their purpose and why they're here this time around, and therefore that's also then benefiting everybody else because their energetic field is coming into alignment, and then that creates like a really super awesome collective, I think, as more people do it, where we are changing the world just simply by altering our own frequency and resolving and stepping into our own purpose. We're expanding this beautiful energy. It's almost like what I see, like on a psychic level, what I see this Wellpoint doing. It's like kind of food. It's like, you're being fed. Something's just digesting and gestating inside of you as you take in this food, and then you expand, like it's feeding you in your spirit, and you're expanding out. And so that's what I like psychically, energetically, like what I'm feeling as you talk and as I learn more about Wellpoint. So would you agree? Do you feel that?
Absolutely. And that's why I'm so honored to be interviewed by you, Michelle, because you are so in tune and you have such a keen psychic ability. Okay, so for example, let's say you're a woman trying to do a healing business, which a lot of us are, right?
Yep.
Well, we are influenced by thoughts, feelings, and emotions through our DNA, scientifically proven 14 generations back. So basically 8,000, I did the math, over 8,000 of our relatives, grandparents, great-great-grandparents, on both sides. If you figure it all out, 8,000 of our ancestors can influence us on what we do today. Well, I come from Italian family. On both sides of the family, women did not own their own businesses. So think about that when now I'm trying to own my own business. What type of genetic programming am I holding in my field?
Yeah. Old
And
stories.
can we go in, and yes, we can go in, and through quantum entanglement, we can change the past, present, and future. And they even have done studies, the Russian scientists, I just wrote this down, that DNA can be reprogrammed by words and frequencies to facilitate self-healing. We just did a study that came out.
Oh, wow. I love that. It's nice,
So
nice that that's acknowledged. Yeah, excellent.
Yeah, using the words and frequencies, going back in, doing a regression if that's what you're choosing, and let's heal any traumas of the past. You're healing those ancestors too,
Yeah,
because time is linear. So and like you said, think of this. If you're somehow doing work that can heal yourself and your ancestors, and how many people is that affecting as a ripple effect in the world?
Incredible.
And so there's so many applications. There's authors that would maybe they're really keen on Egypt, and they always thought, I just love Egypt. I'd love to write a book about ancient Egypt. Well, let's go. And even if you haven't had a past life in ancient Egypt, let's take you on a quantum regression. And that's what we do with Wellpoint. And let's go into ancient Egypt and talk to people in ancient Egypt and find out answers to your questions.
Nice.
And the client is guiding it because the practitioner will have the questions, right? So there's a lot of lost history that we don't even know about that was written by the victors, right? And unfortunately written a lot by men, like the witch trials, for example. Yeah. That was all the history was written by men about the witch trials. Why not go into, and that's a book I really want to do because I have a whole list of women I know had past lives that they were healers and falsely accused. But why not go back in history and find out what really happened? And we can do that. And that's what blows my mind. It's just really can be tailored to your personal goals. And it could be very mainstream. It could say, how do I have, cat allergies and I want to get rid of them?
Yeah.
And can I get rid of them? Is there a program? Is there a belief system? And it could be something that simple, or we could go really out there and, look at other realms and star systems, and maybe you feel like you're a Pleiadian and you really want to go in a regression and talk to people and get information and see it's your higher self is guiding you. So it's completely safe because your higher self is in charge. It will not let you find out information that you're not ready for.
And do you find that after people come through the experience that they are more conscious of their higher self through going through that? Like, is there a, like how some people who are hypnotized don't remember anything? Do they come out of it and remember everything?
You'll remember bits and pieces. We always record it. And that's one thing I want the practitioners always to record it, because you will be surprised what can happen in the session. And you want to relax during the session and not worry about remembering it all. Yes. So you'll get a recording of it. And some practitioners can videotape it, or they can just give you an audio. The client can decide. It's not a big deal on what method. But one thing, this was really interesting. There was a session that I did, and this client had many, many lifetimes in the military. And we did, at the end of the session, we had the higher self scan the body and find out if there were any implants or military programs, implants, booby traps, any kind of things like that this person could clear. And the higher self actually found there were about 30 that were able to be cleared safely, but there were a lot more that weren't. He was not ready yet. And that's okay. That's good. Right? Because we did a lot of work and a lot of progress. And we had done several sessions. I had done several sessions on this client, and over time, more and more were cleared. And the feeling of freedom and liberation And it's so funny, my camera's wigging out now. I think all the energy is like,
I know, I'm noticing that. I don't know if
but
anybody else is, but I can see it. It's
I
amazing.
don't know what it's doing, but,
Right.
the freedom and the liberation and what it's really about, Michelle, is making this life the best it can be.
Yes. Yep.
Right. And maybe you're just afraid of heights and you don't know why, and you really want to get over it. Or, it can be a real simple thing, or it can be really intense, and it's up to the client to decide. But I just really wanted to give it a spiritual, a spiritual solution, because there's so many spiritual solutions to everyday problems, and we're not really taught that. We're taught take a pill, or this is really strange. I apologize to the audience. I don't know why the camera is doing that. It's actually a pretty nice camera. So
Wow, I'd go with it. I think that we've got
Okay.
probably got a lot of galactic beings agreeing with us and saying, "Yep, we're right on the money." It's really good stuff that you're doing, and I'd love you to kind of tell people the nitty gritty of how they could become involved or a practitioner and add that to their toolkit, because it would be lovely to see more Wellpoint practitioners out there around the globe.
Yes, and thank you for that, because I wasn't planning on teaching this, and the requests kept coming to the point where I was, okay, I'll teach it. Maybe we'll just do an online class. And they grew. I mean, we haven't even officially launched the classes, and we already have the first class was full in February, and it's July. That's when the classes. Our August online class, there's going to be live classes in Colorado for right now. Online classes for everybody out, in international. We have a lot of international people, and we have a lot of people who are medical doctors and radiologists that are interested in this. They're going to be doing research for us, and they're on the online classes because they can't leave their day job for a week and come to Colorado and take a class. So that's why we have the online classes. This is my goal, Michelle, is to get enough people certified in doing this that I can personally mentor in the first year, so I can train teachers to teach level 1.
Yep.
That way, if there's someone in Australia and wants to teach classes, people don't have to fly to Colorado. They want the in-person, situation. And it's all about community and how can I help others. I could teach level 1, 2, and 3 classes, but I'd rather teach the teachers.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of people that want to do it as a hobby, and that's fine too. But for the people that are serious and they want to teach the classes and the workshops, and they want to fast track it, this first year we're launching, I'm going to really mentor that ground floor crew, right? The ground crew that's going to be out there, because in time I won't be able to teach all the level 1 people. So if anyone is interested in adding this to their healing business, or it's a great add-on. Or even there's a lot of mainstream. I have personal trainers signed up, a radiologist, someone who's going to be doing research in the ear, nose, and throat. She's in the medical field, and they're going to do research. I wrote it down. I have psychotherapists, PhDs, Lockheed Martin engineer, master class from Joe Dispenza, and she's a really gifted psychic, medical intuitive. These are just some of the people that are attracted to this. And so, but you don't really need any experience. I'm going to teach you everything you need to know and how to learn about it. So if you want to go online, Michelle, I just adore what you're doing for the world and with your media company and your broadcasts. And so we're giving anyone who would like to do the online class 25% off. Use Lightworker as the code. And that's for Michelle, because Michelle, we want to give back to you and also give back to your audience. And so we're trying to make it as affordable and easy for people if they want to learn this.
Thank you so much for that. And I'm going to just show people your website as well, sweetheart, just so that that they can have a look-see at your beautiful website. Here we've got Ted Winslow. He's the founders. We've got Christina, beautiful Christina Winslow, and her amazing hubby, Ted Winslow. You've got a little bit about up here and on the club, the actual. I love this. I love how you've set this out and you're showing people. It's just loading, but there's a list of all the amazing things. Look, find out what's possible with Wellpoint, and it's got nice, like, look at all the benefits. Like, there's so many. It's like, oh my goodness, there's so much information on your website, Christina.
Well,
so for people who actually want to go on there and have a little look-see, please do, because there's so much information on there.
Thank you for showing that.
Yeah, wellpointhypnosismethod.com is actually the website, wellpointhypnosismethod.com. For anybody who's interested in checking that out, please do. I just wanted to say, Christina, that my involvement with you and Ted over the years has been one where I have always felt that, there's 100% trust and authenticity in what you guys are doing, and the intention behind what you're doing. It's definitely for the greater good. And I mean, I think I'm just so excited by it, like I just feel, oh my God, because I was always thinking that all the technology that Ted, had gotten together, and that we talked about, if anybody wants to read in one of our past issues of Lightworker Advocate magazine, that all the technology and the research, like you were saying with the Russians, and measuring frequency, getting the before and after, where people have actually been exposed to the sound sync technology and how it has actually altered their vibration and it's actually changed their energy, and getting that photographic evidence, that photography, I think it's called, it just amazed me. And I was so excited. This was like a couple of years ago when Ted was on the cover, and now I'm just even more excited because it's now progressing into becoming even more formal insofar as how it's being incorporated in the healing. And it's like, I feel like you and Ted have come together and brought your worlds together, and he's brought this beautiful, amazing accessing technology to help people to, I think, support people's vibration, to keep a high vibration as well while they're going through that healing process. And you've had so much experience with helping people walk that journey, and it's like these two worlds coming together and co-creating something extraordinarily powerful. So I'm just in awe of what you've both. I just feel a bit teary, actually.
Oh, I know. I wish I could give you a hug.
Yeah, I just feel so proud of you guys. I don't mean to sound condescending. I'm just so proud of you. I just
no, thank you for that. That means a lot coming from you, because that's your life work with Tony, and you guys are out changing the world, and what you're doing with your company is so important to get the word out of the different modalities. And so we're very grateful to know you and Tony, and if anyone has any questions, please, have them contact me.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of questions.
Best way to contact it, is it through the website?
Contact through the website and tell me, let me know what country you're in, and then we can coordinate a Zoom or a Skype session or something if you're international. And in the States, we can set up a phone call. But I do welcome the questions. So. Yeah.
And I am feeling too that that like there is a calling at the moment for this foundation group that is being grown, that they're the teachers of this tomorrow, so if you're feeling that you have that, and I hear that anyone can do it and there's all walks of life, but I'm also feeling that if you have even, that sort of feeling that you hold space and you want to teach others as well, this is a really great opportunity for you to get involved and to be a teacher that seeds this across the planet. So I'm going to encourage you, if you're a teacher already and you feel that you want to work with some powerful, not only technology but powerful processes, to contact Christina and to get involved, because it sounds like an absolutely beautiful offering to the world. So yeah, please do.
Well, thank you. And I have corporate background, as a lot of people do, who then go the spiritual healing route with and being entrepreneurs. And it was very important to me, Michelle, to create a foundation for the people who want to do this and maybe grow into it even full time, if that's what their desire was. Yeah. And how can I bring clients to them? How can we fill up a class for them? Because so many times, and I've done it myself, you'll get a certificate and they say, thanks for coming to our class, bye. And there's no support if you really want to create a client base and build a business and get referrals and teach classes. And we offer that. There's information on the website. Everybody receives a free year of support. Wow. So a free year of support, of monthly call from me, a telecall, video conference, and also documents and information, articles, tips, tools, answering questions. And so you're not just getting a certificate, you're receiving 12-month business support.
That's beautiful.
So that, and I hope that, anything we can do for you, for your work, you let us know, because you're just,
you made me cry. You made me cry.
Make me cry.
It's always a good sign when someone makes me cry. Like, I really get, it's like, I feel I'm moved, my tears. I don't have a lot of sad tears nowadays. My tears, I cry a lot in being moved, and I look at, that is my authentic sovereignty in unity with the people that are in a position of illuminated leadership. And that's what you're doing. And I'm so excited by that, because, to feel into what you're doing and to really get the gravity of what you're doing. And I'm sure everybody listening who can feel it, is that, you're really helping people to tap into some extraordinarily enlightening parts of themselves that connect us all, which then feeds back into everything, which I'm very excited about. So yeah, it's beautiful. So you are, when you say, what can I do for you? It's actually you're doing it, you're really doing it. And, any way we can support you in continuing to do that supports us. So thank you.
Oh, well, thank you. And thanks to the audience too, because the audience holding that space for shows like this, that changes the world in itself.
Yes, please share this with anybody that might benefit on any level, please.
Because I want clean water and healthy, organic, non-GMO food, and people to be in love and harmony and cooperation and abundance, prosperity, and all these things, and I really feel that we're all coming together now.
Yeah.
And even in the craziness of what we see in the geopolitical spectrum, but we're really coming together now. And if I can help people who want to be teachers or practitioners make a very comfortable living, guess what? They're going to go out rescuing animals because they have more money to do that. Or they're going to go grow it, buy property and create an organic farm or save the bees and, or develop a new technology. What about the inventors? Da Vinci was tapping into a brainwave state that we're not in right now, because we have smartphones and technology and 5G. Why not get these inventors in this brainwave state, and they can uncover new solutions, maybe desalinating water in desert areas, and come up, so how can we change our lives and change the world?
Exactly. I love that. Well, thank you so much for joining me today on Enlightened Conversations, Christina. It's been a beautiful experience, and I appreciate you, and I appreciate what you and Ted are both doing, and I appreciate anybody who's getting involved with what you're doing, and it's just beautiful. And I'm excited to see how it grows and how it continues to expand this planet. I'm really excited for that, and I'm sure we'll have to get together again and have another chat and give everybody an update on how it's all beautifully blooming.
Sure. Well, thank you so much for having me on, and thanks to the audience. And I look forward to this adventure, and maybe we'll explore some other possibilities on your show with Wellpoint. And I think that it will be really fun for the audience as well, because we can bring up some feedback from your audience members as well. So that might be fun. But thank you so much, Michelle. And
that'd be awesome.
Love and blessings to you.
Yeah, thank you, darling. Okay, lots of love. Bye.
Bye.